to Soulful Yoga. The studio is still closed, but I'm here to teach you, to practice with you, and to connect with you in the way that we have available to us right now. So I hope that you're able to enjoy your practice at home. And I'm happy that you're here to practice with me. So we'll get started with a little bit of a contemplation and centering and awareness of breath. So let's settle into our bodies and find the grounding of our sitting bones and then lengthening of our spine. Opening the heart space to the breath. Opening the rib cage. And settle the shoulders down, away from the ears. Sinking the tailbone and the shoulders toward the earth. As we exhale and as we inhale, we can lengthen the spine. Finding more opening in the rib cage, the front body, the back body, the side body. And take a few steady breaths, noticing what it feels like to be in your body right now, this moment in time. And acknowledge whatever's going on and allow it to be. And now let's reach down and root through our fingertips as we root through our tailbone and inhale, bringing the energy in, lifting, and then exhaling, settling it into our heart. One more time, inhale. And one more time. Once more, rooted and grounded. Soft shoulders, lengthened spine, full breath. Let's add some movement. I'm going to take my hands back up again. Take a nice kickstand over here and stretch to one side, or bring it down and look. And then inhale, lift. Open that shoulder, really nice full breath. If that is not accessible to you this morning, hand to the shoulder is fine too. Kickstand with a stretch. And then a little twist. And inhale, sweep it back up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale. Stretch that spine as you come chin towards your heart. Inhale, lift. Lengthen and open. Open the shoulders. Let's take a side stretch. Breathing into that whole length of the right side. Inhale back and other side. Switch your hand to clasp your other wrist. And back to center. Exhale, and let's take a flexion. Let's take the chin down toward the chest. Lift it to center. Lift it up, and then roll the chin back around to center as you come back. Inhale, up. Exhale. Other side. Chin toward the collarbone or the shoulder. Lifted center. And then back up. Round that chin around toward your heart, and then come all the way back up. Exhale, hands down. Place them on your knees or your thighs. Round and tuck. Lift, lengthen, and open. Lift the gaze, lift the throat. Exhale, round. Now this time we're going to slide forward, lengthening the spine. Heart parallel to the mat, to the earth. Take a breath, lengthen the spine, and then take the elbows out to the side. So you really opened up a lot of space between the shoulder blades. Back in the heart and lift. All the way up, opening up space then at the front of the heart. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands back to center. And just take a couple of breaths here, noticing the opening that you've created and the steadiness of the breath and how it feels to be in your body right now, right this moment. And then we're going to bring ourselves to hands and knees to tabletop posture. We're going to place the hands under the shoulders, and if you need padding, you can grab a blanket or a towel, put under your knees, knees under the hips, and find that tabletop, that Barmanasana posture, lengthening the tailbone back and the crown of the head forward. Spread the fingers apart, and even take the hands and press them apart like you want to make more space in your chest. Find that nice grounded pads of the knuckles right there in the middle of your hands. Round to cat tuck. And now separate the knees a little bit apart and take them back just a little bit. Now walk your hands a little bit forward so you're kind of in an elongated tabletop. And we're just going to rotate the hips. Make hip circles. I'm going to go both directions so you can decide how many times you want to go around each way. But you want to be balanced, so do the same amount. Stretching through those hips. Other direction when you're ready. And breathe, opening the hips. And then stretch the hips back toward the heels. Knees are open, and just shift the hips from side to side. Spread the hands again. Walk the fingertips forward and then tent them. So you're just on the fingertips, and feel that nice opening in the armpits and the chest. And then come back to your tabletop. Find yourself right in the center. Lift the lower abdominals to get that neutral spine. Press the hands apart. And we're going to stretch the left leg back. And press that heel back toward the back of the mat. So you really get a good stretch in your Achilles tendon. Looking down between the hands, the neck is neutral. So the head's not dropped down or lifted up. And then pressing that heel one more time, and then really lift the abdominals and add that little lift of the leg, pressing the heel straight out from the hip. Lifting the chest, lifting the abdominals. One more breath. Now we're going to bring our knee in toward our elbow. Really work that core. We're going to warm it up. Extend the foot. Inhale it in toward the elbow. Exhale, extend it out. One more time. Extend it out. And this time leave that foot out, press the heel away. And if you want to add the other arm extended in front for spinal balance, the thumb faces up like you're going to shake hands. Also perfectly fine to put that toe down. Do what works. This is Do You Yoga. Back to center. Back to Barmanasana, back to tabletop. Stretch the other leg out, press the heel away. Press through. Like you want to just take that heel bone to the other side of the room. You want to really stretch that leg. Come sliding back to center. Lift those lower abdominal muscles. Press the heel away. Press the hands apart. Lengthen the spine. And then inhale, stretch, exhale, knee to elbow, or somewhere thereabouts. Exhale, stretch it out. Inhale in. Exhale out. Last time. In, out. Stretch. And extend that other arm if it works. Still just looking right a little bit above where your hands are. Not lifting that head up or dropping it down. And then come back to your tabletop. Let's come back to child posture just for a moment. Get a nice stretch, shift those hips back and forth. And if it works, take the tops of your fingers and kind of roll on those backs of the hands to stretch out through the wrists a little bit. And then coming back to Bharvanasana, we're going to tuck the toes. Press the hips back just for a nice inhale, lifting the heart, lifting the eyes in a puppy dog stretch. Press the hands away like you were going to press your mat underneath the door. Now walk your hands a little bit forward, maybe one hand forward. We're going to come back to your tabletop. Just hover those knees for a moment. Coming into your downward facing dog. Just in a nice leisurely way, set your feet. There's no place you need to be with this. Knees can be nice and bent. Maybe you want to press one heel down and then the other. Stretching through the backs of the legs. Come up to the balls of the feet and then just rotate on the balls of the feet so that your heels come toward one corner of the mat. Stretch. Breathe. Inhale back to the balls of the feet and take it the other way. Inhale back. And now, if it's available, stretch the heels a little closer to the earth. Press the hands away. One more breath. And now we're going to bring our left foot slightly forward and then keep that right foot back and just press that left sitting bone back. Find a good stretch here through the arms, the armpits, through the leg, and turn to down dog. Bring that right one up. Stretch, open, and breathe. And back to downward facing dog. Now, just like we just did, we can bring one foot up, then we can bring the other foot up, and find ourselves in forward bend. Hands can be high up on the thighs with the elbows tucked in, because this is an early forward bend. A half forward bend. Lengthen the spine, shoulders away from the ears, and then really lift the lower abdominal muscles and lift the chest slightly into a modified half lift. And then exhale, round so that you're rounded into that half forward bend. Let the arms just hang if that's comfortable. If that's not, they can stay on your thighs. Spread the toes, pressing the feet. Find your weight. And begin to come all the way up to standing. Finding weight on all four corners of the feet. Lengthening the spine, finding gravity. Drawing your lower body down. Coming to standing mountain Tadasana. Open the fingertips. Breathe into the palms of the hands. Press into the feet. Open the heart, the throat, lift the gaze. And then we're going to lift those arms, breathing up. If that's not comfortable for you, just leave them down by your sides. Pressing into the feet, softening the shoulders, softening the face. Take a breath and really notice the expression of Tadasana, of mountain posture in your body today. Like you've never done it before. Just notice sensations, breath, sturdiness in the legs, power, openness in the upper body. And let's exhale the arms down. So notice how that felt in your shoulders. Maybe you need a little shoulder roll just to loosen up a bit more. Step the feet apart. And we're going to just do a little swinging. Standing swinging twist. Experiencing the side body. And now take the toes out, pointed sort of toward the corners of the mat. Press them apart, and then see if you can bring your knees a little more over the middle of your feet. Pressing into those feet. Now you may want to turn sideways on your mat like I am. I have two, I'm lucky here. Press into those feet, and then shine out the arms. Extend the legs so that your knees are straight now, but not locked. We're going to keep the toes right where they are, and we're going to stretch first to one side, lengthening that upper body. And inhale back to center. And we'll take it to the other side. And back to center. Bring your hands to your hips. Again, see if you can keep those knees more over the middle of the feet. You might even want to actually take your toes a little more forward for this, not so much to the corners. Lengthen the spine. One more breath, so the heart, the torso is parallel to the earth. And now we're just going to bring our upper body over our left thigh. Lengthen and press back with that left sitting bone. So you get a nice stretch in the back of that left thigh. Breathe yourself back to center, and we'll take it to the other side. Pressing with the right sitting bone this time. And back to center. Now walk yourself up to your thighs, bend your knees just a little bit, press open, come to a very high squat. Warming up those thighs. And then press yourself all the way up. Press the feet apart. Extend to the arms, shine out. Bring the arms overhead. You can clasp a wrist or you can clasp your hands. We're going to just really open up that chest a little bit. And then exhale the arms all the way around. Clasp a wrist or your hands. Soften the knees. And we're going to exhale into a wide angle forward bend. Maybe the hands stay right here at your tailbone. Maybe they lift into a yoga mudra. And pressing the feet apart, inhale all the way up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands back to heart center. And let's step the feet in about hip distance apart. So you have a good, sturdy, grounded foundation for the standing postures. Just think about the feet. Think about the shape of the feet and just kind of mold them into the mat. Really notice all the points of contact. And then we're going to extend the arms out. Step the feet apart for warrior two. We're going to take one toe toward the short edge of the mat. The other heel can go back at an angle, or the back foot can be parallel to the other short edge of the mat. Extending through the upper body, knee over ankle. Find your focus. Press the feet apart. Open the heart, the shoulders. Breathe and notice. And then we're going to inhale that right arm up and roll the head down to the outside edge of the left foot for our reverse warrior. Pressing the feet, open that whole right side. Inhale back to center. And now we're going to bring that right hand down. Back, left hand can go straight. It can come up and over. It can come over your head if you're ready for that. In your side angle posture, and look down at your right big toe. Open that top left shoulder. Press the feet apart. See how that feels. Pressing into those feet, we're going to inhale back to warrior two. Find that center. And from that center point, return to reverse warrior. We're going to do that flow 2 more times. Inhaling. Now you've been here before. You know what to do. Find what works for you in this side angle posture. Maybe the hand comes to the waist. Maybe it comes around your back in a bind. Or if it feels good to your shoulder, it's up or over. But look at that big toe, so there's no strain on your neck. And see if you can push your leg, your front right leg, into your forearm. Pressing the feet apart, making this such an active pose as you inhale back through warrior two and to reverse. And inhale back. This time, one more time to side angle. See if you want to try a different hand position. Find that sturdy lower body. One more breath. And then inhale yourself back up Exhale the arms down. Step it back to center. Shift out those feet. Take a nice full breath. And let's find that series on the other side. So we're going to step our feet apart. Take the toes and the heel toward the short edge of the mat, or maybe your whole outside edge of your foot. See what works for you in Warrior Two. Finding that open heart, extended arms. Now really engage those arms. It's like you just shoot that energy arrow right through the fingertips. Focusing over that middle finger so you really know this. Warrior Two, press the feet apart. And then staying on center, we're going to take it to reverse. Opening the heart, looking to the earth for support, and then inhaling back, and finding our side angle on this left side. Noticing, how does it feel on this side? Notice what that top arm wants to do. How's the shoulder? Just in this moment, breathe into it. And then pressing into those feet, lift the lower abdominals back to Warrior Two, and then floating into reverse. Inhale up, taking that side angle, opening that whole right side of the body, pressing in the feet, almost like lifting right out of that lower body to open more space in the upper body. And then inhale up, and reverse one more time. Breathing it up. Side angle or extended side angle, or bound side angle with the arm and back. Last time, Warrior Two. Find that focus. Ground the lower body. And then step back to center. Back to home base, back to tall mountain. Inhale the arms up. Take a slight back bend here. Exhale forward. Find your forward bend. It may be at your thighs. It may be at your shins. It might be all the way to the mat this morning. And now we're going to take our half lift. So press the shins into the hands if your hands are there. And lift and lengthen the spine. Opening up. Exhale back to forward bend. Press in the feet, come up your way. Maybe you take your hands right to heart center and come up that way. Maybe you sweep them up. If it feels right. Slight back bend. Exhale back to heart center. And then come down to let the hands frame the feet. We're going to step back into downward facing dog. Familiar position by now. Walk those hands, one hand forward. Lengthen that dog and breathe. Let's step the feet up toward the hands. Have a half forward bend, and then take that half lift. Exhale, round back down, and then root to rise, pressing into the feet, coming all the way up. Slide back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Extend the arms out. Soften the shoulders. Turn the thumbs down. Press the air out of the way. Now keep pressing it all the way back so that you're pressing that air ball behind your hips. Press into your feet. Lift open your heart. And find that open heart, open throat, lifted gaze, but relaxed face. And breathe. Really push those hands together if you want to work your triceps. And then inhale, back all the way up. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Step the feet apart. We're going to take triangle now. So we're going to take it starting on the left, so the left toe points toward the short edge of the mat. Lengthening those arms. Now the front knee is going to stay open, look spacious, not bent and not locked. And let's extend that upper body, breathing, opening, and coming all the way down to where your body says, this is my triangle today. Maybe that upper arm stays up, maybe it's out, maybe it's your waist, around the back. You could look down to the big toe again, or out to the wall, or maybe up to your elbow if your neck feels good with that. This is your posture. Now see if you can press those feet apart and find just a little bit more lift in that upper hip, opening a little more in the right side of the body. And then press into the feet. You want to use your core too, so lift those lower abdominals and bring it back. Exhale the arms down. Tick-tock those toes around to the other side for Trikonasana. Now shift the hips so they're in alignment with the long edge of the mat. Lengthen the spine, open the heart, and then begin that extension of the upper body. Really feel the deliciousness of pressing that left hip away and the upper body going to the right. And then come to your triangle on this side. See if you can open that top left shoulder a little bit. Lengthen through the side body. The goal here is not to get down to your foot. It's to be in alignment. Find the right place for your head at your toe, looking forward, or looking up toward the elbow. Pressing into the feet. Lift the abdominals all the way back up. Step the feet back right underneath the hips. Nice full breath. Exhale down to front your feet. Bend the knees as much as you need to do that. Turn around mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Press the mat under that door. Now you can come to plank from here, walk your hands a little forward, or you can come take an ease to your knees and come to your modified plank, which is always a perfectly fine option. Finding those hands, soften the shoulders away from the ears. Finding your plank for one more breath. And then everybody take an ease to the knees and stretch back to child posture. Shift the hips back and forth. Take a nice full breath. And then come back to tabletop. Finding the knees under the hips and the hands under the shoulders. Breathe in to cow, Vinyasana. Exhale, round to cat tuck. And back to a lengthened spine. Now we're going to plant our left hand on the mat, and we're going to take our left leg and slant it so it turns into kind of a kickstand there, back behind us, so we can roll to our side to the long edge of the mat. This foot can rest right down here on the mat. Arm can be up. It can be at your hip. Be back wherever it needs to be. You can stay right there, or perhaps lift that foot, extending through the heel. Nice full breath. Choose the place for your head, looking down at the floor, or out, or maybe up at your elbow for one more breath. And then we're going to bring it down and do the other side. So I'm going to turn around so that I'm still facing you, but you don't have to turn around. We're in tabletop. Inhale, lift the heart and eyes to Vinyasana, the cow. Round. Vajrayasana, the cat. Press the hands away. Really power into those hands and then extend the leg. Kickstand and turn, or rest that foot down. Up to you. Pressing through that heel. Nice full breath. Open the heart, reach. Extend through that heel bone. Find those muscles for one more breath. And then bring it back. Slide our hips down into cat tuck, and then down into child. Shift the hips back and forth. Take a rest. You cross one arm over the other and rest your forehead. Shift the hips or leave them stretched out if that feels good. And then walk those hands forward again. We're going to take one more downward facing dog, tuck the toes, press back, up to standing. Lift the hips, soften the heart toward the earth. Lengthen the arms. Stay grounded in the bases of those front knuckles so you're not all into your wrist. And now we're going to step our right foot forward, and it's fine to do this gradually. So you can kind of just walk it forward, walk it up there towards your hand, and then we're going to lift. Lift those abdominals to let your core help you with this. Come all the way up. Pressing into this warrior two. We're going to take it one more time to triangle. Trikonasana. Coming down. Open the heart. Press into the feet. Inhale up. Keeping the legs straight but not locked. We're going to come to reverse triangle. Coming to the other side. Open the shoulder, open the hip. Inhale back. Extend the arms. Now just rotate. First to the front, and then all the way around so that your left hand can come to your right hip. Turn your right thumb down and press back, looking over that shoulder in a modified revolved triangle. Sweep all the way back around. We're going to cartwheel down to frame our foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Press the hips up, lengthen through the body. I'm going to step the other foot forward. And I'm going to turn around so you can see me. Turn that back foot. Lift those abdominals and use that core. Use your strong feet, your legs to bring you up. Straighten the legs now, lengthen. Trikonasana. Find it, breathe into it, notice it. Inhaling back up. Extend the other direction for reverse. Notice how that feels. Opening now that whole left side of the body. Breathe, full breath. Inhale, back up. Now we're just going to rotate. First over that front left leg and then around right hip, right hand to left hip. Press back with that left arm looking over the left shoulder for our modified revolved triangle. Parivrita Trikonasana. And then sweep that arm around to bring it all the way back. Tick-tock the toes forward or toes out a little bit. Shine out into five-pointed star. Press the feet apart. And then inhale the arms up and let the hands become a point. Exhale the arms down. Step the feet together. Spread the toes. Nice full breath. Exhale down. Roll the shoulders. Let's do a Virabhadrasana 1, which we're going to turn into a balance pose. So because we're going to turn that into a balance pose, we might want to be off our mat, just so we have a sturdier foundation. So see where you want to be. I'm just going to turn this way. You can see what I'm doing a little better. Pressing the feet, we're going to step, let's say our right foot back. Walk that front foot forward. Come into a little knee bend. Remember that back heel can be slanted or the whole foot can be parallel to the back edge of the mat. Shift the hips into alignment. Front edge of the mat, press the feet apart. Now press them together. Now press them apart again and ground into the outer edge of that back foot, into those heel bones. From there, we can add that lift, opening the heart. the throat, lifting the gaze. In warrior one. Full breath. Expanded upper body, grounded lower body. Now really find your center line. I want you to do that by kind of bringing your heel bones in toward each other. You find that center line between your feet to your spine at the top of your head. Exhale the arms down, just to your side. Now we're going to just press into that front left foot and come to the ball of that right foot. Lengthen up that upper body and just see if maybe that back foot can float a little bit. If it does, press the heel away. You can experiment with your arms. They can be like out like Superman arms. They can rest at your tailbone. They can come forward. They can be at your heart center. You can put that toe down anytime you need to get your balance back. It's just a dance of balance. One more breath. If the foot's up, float it back down. Open up the heart and rotate all the way around. We'll do it on the other side. That probably should have been off the mat. First, warrior two, so that front knee's bent. Inhale, open. Breathe. Find those feet. Kind of take that back leg and you almost kind of rotate it toward the back to really get that sturdy back thigh, that back foot grounded into the mat. And then either bring the arms down, put them somewhere else, or keep them up and float into Virabhadrasana 3. Warrior 3. And just notice how it is on this side. Breathe. Find your focal point, your drishti, your gaze, someplace on the floor. Lengthen that leg. Breathe in. One more breath. And then we're going to float that foot back down. Turn, come back to center. Maybe step the feet out a little bit. We're going to find our way to the mat. And if you want to find your way over to a drink of water or whatever your beverage of choice is, the moment, it's probably not a bad idea. So I'm going to float down through downward facing dog first. And then hands and knees, tabletop, and then come back to my seat so I can get my drink. Once you're on your mat, get up on those sitting bones, extend through the legs. I'm going to do a little core work. And core work for me is always going to start from seated mountain. Because this pose doesn't look like much, but if you press those heel bones away, press the thighs into the mat, zip up those jeans, open your front upper spine, open the heart and throat, you are finding core. You may be noticing it. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the gaze if that works for you. Nice full breath. Supta Tadasana, seated mountain. Grounded in that lower body, lifted, open, spacious, and inspired in the upper body. Now we're going to turn the palms out. Exhale. We're going to make little tented fingertips right here by our hips. Zip up those jeans, and let's open that front upper spine just a little bit more. Now that back lower spine is neutral. It's not curved any more than our natural curve. It's just lengthened and open, and then it's this. You can even put a hand on a belly button, a hand on a chest. Move them apart and find that openness in that front upper spine or on the heart. For one more breath in staff pose, Dandasana. And then bring it back to neutral spine. Let's just walk our hands slightly forward. Take a little counter stretch, bringing the chin toward the heart. Breathe. And now we're going to find a little more core. However, if what we just did was plenty of work for you, just repeat that sequence. Tadasana and staff. If you want to do a little bit more, you can go to a very supported boat. Ship pose. Lengthen the spine though. Open the heart. Remember how we opened our heart in that staff? We want that same opening, but keep the back neutral, zip up the jeans, and hands can just be right here, giving you a little support. So that's fine right there. If you want to make it a little bit more work on the core, because you feel pretty strong today, you can lift those legs. Lengthen the spine, open the heart, stay grounded in those sitting bones, and lift the gaze slightly so it stays heads right in line with your spine. And breathe. And then you can rest one foot down and then the other. Let's lengthen that spine. And then give ourselves a nice little hug. We're going to come back one more time, but if that's more than you want to do, you can come to hands and knees and do cat and cow again, or you can rest in child posture. Or maybe you want to come along with me to boat or do staff. And in boat, you'll see people do it with their legs straight. That stresses my hip flexors too much. So I keep my knees more or less, I like to have my shins parallel to the ceiling. And I want to really zip up those jeans and lift open the heart. And if you don't need the support of your arms, the hands can be in front. They could be at the heart. You could take a twist. There's a lot of ways to do this posture. And then we're going to float those feet back down. Lengthen up. Exhale into a little ball. And then let's hands behind the hips. Shake the legs out. Windshield wiper the feet. Rotate the ankles. And now we're going to take the right foot so it comes into seated tree pose. It could be here, down here. It could be up here. You could take a prop to make your knee more comfortable if it's up here. Whatever works for you today. Lengthen as much as you can the heel right out from the hip, just like we did in that spinal balance when we were on hands and knees and we just stretched our leg out. So it's the same thing. I'm going to kind of, as much as possible, straight forward with the ball of the foot and the heel pressing away. Zip up those jeans. And then we're just going to keep more or less a flat back, but it's really more like a bridge going over a river after it had opened for a boat. So it's really a little bit of a curve as we just breathe our way down, finding some stretch in the back of that left leg, lengthening the spine. Hands come to wherever they come to. They can rest at your thigh, they can be on either side of the leg. Wherever they are is fine. Just find your stretch. And breathe. And remember why you're here. Because your body asked you to be here. And it's good. And then round that low back. Really find space in between the shoulder blades at the back of the heart and lift up with that space as you come all the way back up, lengthening the spine. Nice deep breath. Now we're going to bring that knee in toward our chest. Going to have to zip up those jeans again. And then we might take it across the body, grabbing it wherever we can, or a little hip opener. Keep that nice tall spine, open heart, one more breath. And then stretch that leg back out again, bring it down. Stretch the other leg out, shake those legs, and we'll do the other side. So again, that left foot comes inside the right leg, wherever it comes to. If you want that prop under the knee, you want it hanging up in the air, get up on the sitting bones, get the groceries out of the way, zip up. Unzip, so you can see that S on the chest of super person. And extend. Breathing into the stretch. Finding what works for you today. Just noticing. What does it feel like? Notice a difference from one side to the other. Finding that length of the exhale that softens your connective tissue and it allows you more flexibility. Rely on your breath to settle. And then round, opening up that space in the lower spine and at the back of the heart. And just walk your way back up, lengthening the spine. And then if you want to take that stretch for the hip, just see where you can maybe just lift up behind your thigh, just see what works. And if none of that works, just find another stretch for your hip. It's all good. It's your practice. Do it your way. And I'm going to stretch my leg back out again one more time. Let it come down. Stretch both legs out. Zip up those jeans. We're going to come back to Paschimottanasana, pressing the feet away first. Extending through the legs, extending through the spine. You might want to make little peace fingers around your big toes if you're that far. Helps balance the polarities, the energies of the body, the male and female. And then lifting up with the space at the back of your heart, come all the way up. Let's place our hands back behind our thighs, and one more time, open up space at the front of the spine. Back to center. I'm going to walk, let's see, I'm going to come to Sukhasana, easy pose. One leg right in front of the other. If that's not easy pose for you, come to whatever a comfortable seated position is for you, because this is your practice. And be up and listening, let's see, link in the spine. We're going to take a little twist over to one side. So lengthen, kind of tip those fingertips, lengthen the spine. Now without turning your head, take your heart and your belly button around as you exhale. Press in those fingertips, or maybe into your legs or wherever you can, and then take it a little further around. And then take that chin towards your shoulder. Now roll it towards your collarbone. Now lift it up a little bit. Roll it back down, roll it to center, and then bring the body to follow. Take a breath. Now I'm going to put my other foot in front because I'll just feel more balanced if I do both sides. Lengthen. And then we're going to take that twist. I like to press into my fingertips to really lengthen my spine and give me a little resistance to open a little bit more, but don't take that head around. Let the shoulders, let the heart and the belly button come, and then perhaps you take the chin a little closer around to the side, and then roll it toward your shoulder and toward the collarbone, and lift it up. And then roll it all the way around. Back to the heart again. Let the head lead this time. Coming all the way back to center. Let's exhale, rounding into cat tuck. Lift, lengthen, and open, and I'm going to walk myself forward. Maybe you want to walk to a blanket or just wherever you want to walk to just stretch a little bit through that low spine. You can tuck your chin in, sliding into this variation of the fire log Lambasana posture. And once you're here or somewhere, you can walk to one side and stretch a little bit through the side body. See what works. Take another breath, extend a little bit in that upper body, press the tailbone toward the earth, and then walk back to center. Take a breath here, sinking the heart to the earth, and then we're going to take the other side. Again, hands can stretch out, elbows and forearms resting on the earth, or you can take that outside hand and come to the top of the other hand, pressing away with the hands, really getting more resistance, pressing that left sitting bone toward the back corner. And then walk it back to center, and all the way up. Back to easy seated posture, roll the shoulders. And we're going to come to our Shavasana posture on the mat, our final resting pose. If you would prefer to have your knees bent rather than your legs straight, that's perfectly fine. You can also put a blanket under your knees or tuck one under your neck, under your head, like I like to do. The classic posture is to just roll down, then slide the feet out so they're kind of at the edges of the mat, opening the insides of the feet up to the ceiling, and then turn the hands so the palms face up to receive. Slide them away from your hips so the shoulders can relax. So you can try that posture, and if it just doesn't work for you, do something else. Knees can be bent, arms can be overhead, out to the sides, wherever you want them. You can roll on your side, or you can rest on your belly. You can also take Vita Parita Karanis, just down a block, and just stretch your legs up to the ceiling and see if that feels good. Just see what works for you today in your relaxed posture. You might take a stretch or two if you're feeling still like you need to do that, or just come right into your Shavasana. Noticing the breath. Noticing the sensation of grounding into the earth with the back body. Noticing what it feels like to really sink into the support of the earth. Finding rest. Allow some heaviness in the lower body. Softness in the belly. Allow the eyes to flow closed and the eyeballs can just sink and float into the head as the eyelids become heavy. Teeth part slightly so the jaw can relax. The eyes and the jaw relax, the face relaxes, and when the face relaxes, the whole body relaxes. Smoothing the forehead. Feeling how that relaxation can flow through the whole body, from the top of the head, the torso and arms and hands and fingers, through the back body, through the abdomen and hips, all the way down the legs and into the feet and toes. So that every part of you is feeling the benefits of relaxation and the flow of energy that comes with that aware, opened physical body. Noticing again the breath, the sensations of the breath as the rib cage expands. Back body presses slightly into the mat. Abdomen and heart lift with the inhale. With the exhale, the condensing of the body in toward the core. Inhaling, expanding, and exhaling. Releasing. Not trying to control the rhythm of the breath, just noticing. Breath, heartbeat. Sensations and sounds pass through I'll hold this space for you for 3 minutes, allowing complete relaxation. Gives our body the opportunity to integrate all the changes that we've made in our practice today. So the true benefit of the practice only comes with this ability to let go and release, the ease after the effort. If you need to move or change position to be even 2 or 3% more comfortable, do that. Just as the postures are yours to make your own, this relaxation practice is yours. This is your time for you. Every breath in, welcoming more energy, welcoming yourself into your center. Every breath out, releasing what you don't need, letting go, becoming more free, more spacious. Every in-breath and every out-breath. Coming home. Allow your awareness to return gently to the breath, noticing sensation, and notice if there's a movement or stretch bubbling up that your body is asking for to complete your practice. Maybe the knees come to the chest, maybe you rock a full body stretch with arms and legs stretched out. Just see what is the message from your body, listening to your body. Communicate with you. And when you feel complete with that, perhaps you would like to roll over to your comfortable side, cradling your head in your arms with your knees and in toward your chest in that nurturing position of rebirth. Because every time we practice, we are reborn. Our body changes, our energy changes, our mind changes. So much happens during an hour yoga practice. It's good to have this time to integrate, and when you're ready, you can just take that top arm and just press yourself up to comfortable seated posture to complete the practice. Perhaps you want to keep your eyes closed or close them when you return to seated posture, and just take a breath or two to center. As we gradually awaken from our rest and come back to our sense of uprightness and preparing to go out into the world. I thank you so much for being with me today. It's always a pleasure to teach yoga. It's It's always a pleasure to share practice, and I'm honored that you tuned in. So I want to bring you all the love from my heart to yours. I